breaking news. Islam Makhachev left without an opponent after Rafael dos Anjos pulls out. Dan Hooker saves the day, and now we have this matchup just announced. I'm super excited to see what happens between these two. I think it's going to be a sweet fight. Also, Derek Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. We have to talk a little bit about that fight. Pedro Munhoz, Dominic Cruz just announced. I'm going to give you guys some early predictions for each of these three super exciting up-and-coming fights. Honestly, Dan Hooker and Makhachev has to be the one I'm most looking forward to. I feel like most of you would probably agree with that. I feel like this is such a good test for Makhachev. I mean, if you look at the resume, Makhachev has fought against some decent names and winning fairly dominantly against them all. Destruction of T-Bow, that's a good victory. Just one loss. Adriano Martins knocked him out in 2015. He does have that one loss on the record. So if you touch the chin, you could potentially put the guy down. Does Dan Hooker have the tools to beat Makhachev? Well, he definitely has some physical attributes that I like. Lanky fighter, 75.5-inch reach, improving grappling game. He's definitely getting better and better with his takedown defense all of the time. And I mean, he showed offensive grappling against Nasrat Haqparast. Granted, the level of Nasrat here, the level of Makhachev up here, I feel like it's going to be very difficult for Dan Hooker here. Makhachev is going to be attacking with continuous amounts of takedowns. It's going to be consistent. It's not going to be easy for him to keep Makhachev off of him. Even with his good striking, I feel Makhachev has the athletic tools to close distance well. I really don't see this as a total beatdown. I think Hooker will have his moments, but he's definitely going to have a difficult time dealing with Makhachev here. Now, I do want to get the official date for this fight, because it was literally just announced. Dan Hooker versus Islam for 267. That's what's announced at the moment. It was supposed to be Dos Anjos versus Makhachev. They switch it up on us. 267 will be a great card. I feel like 3-rounder actually favors Makhachev more so because Hooker will have less opportunities now to land a big strike throughout. I feel like you're going to see a lot of pace by Makhachev, grappling attacks, putting Dan Hooker against the cage. Hooker will have his moments with straight shots. Got to be very cautious throwing kicks or he'll be taken to the floor. Makhachev will get top control, position 30-27, maybe 29-28, but I think Makhachev with a decision win, a hard-fought decision win, but a clear-cut one. He beats Dan Hooker here, though as a fan, I'd like to see Hooker. Odds, they're going to be -200 to +135, +140. I got Makhachev. Now, let's jump to the heavyweight division. Derek Lewis and Chris Daukaus? What a fight. Knockout artist versus knockout artist. Daukaus, a couple days ago, brutally knocks out Shamil Abdurrahimov twice, really. He really beat the hell out of him. His boxing skill set is nasty. Very fast for a heavyweight. Closes distance at a very high level, elite level. Nasty hooks. On the other side, Derek Lewis, he's less skilled technically than Chris, but he hits about 5 times harder. I mean, Daukaus does have real power, but it's more based upon the timing, the speed, and the precision, where Derek Lewis is the touch of death. One of the hardest punchers in fighting, period, ever, of all time. Gets outclassed against Cyril Gane. But Gane is a different level of technical striker. He threatens with the kicks as well. That's what Daukaus isn't bringing to the table, is that kicking threat. Now, one thing we do have to mention, potential takedowns for Chris Daukaus could be a factor here. Would he decide to maybe try to get Derek Lewis to the floor? That could play to his game more. Can he take the power of Derek Lewis? I'll take you to Chris Daukaus' most recent loss. A knockout loss to Azuna Azuanya. Not the best of fighters, and this is a long time back. But what it does show me is he can be cracked. He can be hurt. A big, strong, plodding heavyweight, very good physical strength, knockout power. Who's going to be there? I mean, Derek Lewis is going to continually persist forward. We have 5 rounds to do it. If it breaks past round 3, maybe Daukaus sweeps it with like a later TKO. But I'm feeling Derek Lewis by first or second round knockout here. I'd like to see Daukaus, honestly. I don't know. Like for the division, I'd like to see Daukaus win, but as a fan, you always want D. Lewis to get the dub. Come on, man. You got to go for the Black Beast. But I feel like Derek Lewis is going to get the win here. Knockout. First or second round, I see him probably getting touched up a bit with the boxing, but I think stylistically, this is actually a good matchup for Lewis. He closes distance, lands a massive hook, puts Daukaus out, unconscious, done. Derek Lewis, knockout win over Chris Daukaus here, and definitely some interesting matchups on the horizon for both guys. Daukaus will be around for a while, but we're going Derek Lewis here. I think Jairzinho Rozenstruik, no matter what happens in this fight, has to be the next one for Derek. I said that after Jairzinho just lost to Blades. I wanted to see that fight. We'll get Daukaus and Lewis. I think Lewis's next one's still Jairzinho, no matter what happens. Now, let's talk about this fight because it's between the former champ, Dominick Cruz, and a really high-level title, I guess, contender, but never got, to that point. Pedro Munhoz is always one step away. He fights Jose Aldo, the legend, not necessarily picked apart. He definitely had his moments, nasty hooks inside, but all those just a different level of technical Muay Thai. And Pedro Munhoz also was the smaller guy of the two. Munhoz is nasty with his boxing. He's got real pop in the hands. Dominick Cruz on the other side, he had a hard-fought win against Casey Kenny, knockout loss to Henry Cejudo. My biggest thing is, will Pedro Munhoz be able to slow the movement? I believe he will. The low kicks are going to come into play here. Pedro Munhoz had a very good performance against Jimmy Rivera, giving him hell in that fight. Also, knockout win over Cody Garbrandt. Stylistically, I think this matchup is Pedro Munhoz. A little bit younger, not much of an age difference, but Munhoz right now, even off the loss, I just feel he's at a higher level than Dominick Cruz. I think him and Cruz are going to go at it. I think Cruz will have a lot of movement, be on the bicycle as normal. I think Munhoz comes forward, closes distance, lands some nice hooks. I could see Munhoz hitting him with a power shot and putting him down, but I'm thinking 29-28 unanimous decision, Pedro Munhoz to beat Dominic the Dominator Cruz. I feel like Munhoz is in such a weird spot because you can't give him a title shot. He's lost to the top guys. He said 125. I thought he was dropping, but at 35, it's going to be hard. I'd be interested to see him drop to 25 if he wins here or if he loses here, really. A loss would be devastating. Even for Cruz, loss is devastating. I don't know what the next matchup would be for Dominick Cruz with a loss here. I would maybe think they should take him towards retirement. He's already got a job as a commentator, analyzing the game at a super high level, and obviously he has the technical tools, but I'm just thinking the wear and tear of all the knee injuries, man, it's just too much for me to pick him. I think Pedro Munhoz wins this bout. He gets it done. Unanimous decision. Don't be surprised if Cruz does get dropped along the way. Overall, we got 3 sweet fights. Let me know, guys. What do you guys think of the predictions? What's the fight that has you most excited? If you haven't, smash the hell out of that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Much love to everybody tuning in. And I do have to tell you, my most exciting matchup has to be Derek Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. But a close second is Dan Hooker Makhachev for like that high-level contendership. But those heavyweights are going to go at it. And I'm interested to see Cruz and Munhoz. But much love, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed these early predictions. Smash that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.